He is back with us today, though, to reveal some problems that's been eating away at the heart of visual culture studies. And it's been going on since its inception and has its roots anchored well in the founding of the university itself, as well as the Department of Archaeology. Now, Esben, could you please explain what's been going on with visual culture studies?
Well, I've been there 2 years now and a master student. And last year, the students composed a letter of complaint to the head of the department.
It's this letter here, is that correct?
Yeah, of AIS, complaining about different things. And like we didn't really complain or question that there wasn't any cooperation between the two studies, visual cultural studies and social anthropology.
Okay, that's sort of what we talked about earlier with the bad blood that seems to be occurring there. That was not part of the
complaint.
Part of the complaint.
We were like trying to keep it inside visual culture studies.
Okay.
But apparently, and we didn't know that much. Like we were talking about, it was strange that we didn't hear anything from that department or anything. But we were going to focus in this letter about visual cultural studies.
Okay. Now, if you could, because you make a number of points, I believe it's 5 altogether. What's the second point that you guys talk about?
Well, it is that there is a lack of teaching in production aspects of filmmaking, or there is none, almost.
Okay.
And we see that as a major problem. And one of the, if you go into the web page, if you not now but last semester, and read about what the administrators had to provide to the studies, it was like basic administration, and then these production, knowledge of production, teaching production of filmmaking.
So it actually did say on the website.
It did say that on the website,
which is very interesting because in their response letter, which we also have here, they say something to a different effect, do they not?
Well, apparently they don't know what they actually have to offer us. They don't know what they actually are supposed to give us, and they're just saying that, no, we can't offer that at this moment.
Okay, even though it actually was on their website.
It was on the website.
In the past, yeah.
And all the students
knew about it.
Like there's two aspects. It was on the website, we didn't get it. Even though if it wasn't on the website, all the students were telling the studies, we need this. We really need this. And their answer is, you can't get it. And I'm saying, all right, how hard can it be to, like, it's not a major course you need. It's not like a full-time semester course. It's just like some basic stuff.
And then what's the next point that you guys raise as well?
Well, it is networking. And that's a really, I know there's also a couple of things you could look at here, but we're complaining that the studies doesn't do any kind of networking effort for the students. Because this is not like, if you study medicine, you go to the hospital and say, hey, you got a job for a doctor.
Right.
You get a job as a doctor. But when you're studying visual anthropology or filmmaking, there's not like, you don't look up filmmaker wanted. You have to network. You have to get know people. Or I would guess that most business schools will have like a basic idea of that if people or firms or organizations, they don't know they need our students, we will tell them they need our students. Like, because we're making students that's really important and can got a lot of competence and good, and that they would kind of build a network telling people on the outside of university that you really need these people working for you. And there was nothing like that. There was never a workshop, nothing. And just like a really strange thing, we got the TIFF Film Festival in Tromsø.
Yeah, a quite prestigious film festival.
It's one of the biggest in Norway, if it's not the biggest in Norway.
Yes.
And there is, for some reason, there's no contact between visual cultural studies of like filmmakers and this festival. And that for us students is very strange. Like the first year I was here studying here, we can get like a really cheap ticket for the festival.
Yeah.
That was it. And the second year it wasn't cheap anymore. So
now, you've done some research, as I understand it, and you found some rather disturbing truths about, well, in this case, the Department of Archaeology and how that's affecting visual culture studies?
Well, again, like I'm just a student, and I just want to I'm just wondering why these things happen, and I have no personal things with anybody here. Mm-hmm. I'm just getting annoyed as a student about the quality of the studies, and then apparently now it's archaeology, social anthropology, and visual culture studies is like under the same umbrella. Like they got the same budget now. After archaeology got fused with social anthropology and visual culture studies, and apparently they're broke now, the studies, because archaeology had a huge debt when they were fused together, and now everybody have to pay for it. This debt, of course, because they're in one boat now. And the solution, like the head of the department made this evaluation, mm-hmm. And like make a long story short, the only thing they can do, the first thing they do in restructuring is to cut away all the people that's not full-time contract hired.
Okay.
And those people are only in visual culture studies. So it's a half technician.
Okay.
I think it's a 20% external professor, and it's a 50 or some 30 or 50, I don't know, percent filmmaking teaching.
Exactly. Now, what kind of effect will this have on visual culture studies, though, if they're let go from the university?
I think it's like I got a hard time seeing then what visual culture study would be afterwards.
So it would cease to exist, is what you're saying?
Well, I don't think that's the plan at all. But I'm just wondering about the quality of the studies then, because you're taking away, like, it's visual culture studies, and one of the persons they're cutting away mm-hmm. is like he's really the thing he does is visual culture studies. Like he's an external professor who comes and supervise and have lectures, mm-hmm. and most students, or all students, I would say, is very fond of his teaching.
Okay.
And the other, like then they're cutting away a technician. And visual culture studies is a very technical course. Yeah. Video, computers, editing. So they're cutting away half a position of technical support, mm-hmm. and then they're cutting away a filmmaker. And if they cut away that position, then I would say they got a really hard time producing film of a certain quality, because there's nobody. There is, of course, people up there that has been working with films and stuff, but like this guy, he. That is what he do. He makes anthropological films and has been doing it for 30 years, and is a really like
accomplished,
a pivotal man to have there, like an important man to have, because he's a filmmaker, basically.
Why are they cutting away their positions if they seem so important? Why not take away one of the other professorial positions?
Well, I would guess that it's because when you're hired on a contract in Norway,
there's no one to get you out. I see.
When you're inside, you're in.
You're set.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that there's a lot of paradoxes here, and there's a lot of things, and I only know like the surface of it, mm-hmm. like what's really going on down underneath everything. I don't know. It's personal stuff, personal relations, wars between courses or people. I don't know, but like something is going on, and it's bad. I just see that really bad management. That these thing has been going on for years.
Yeah.
People has been quitting at visual culture studies, apparently.
Okay.
Because of bad management, I would say, because of personal
reasons.
Personal reasons.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like one problem. And the problem of cutting away these positions I'm talking about mm-hmm. is that apparently, if you read through the budgets of the different courses, visual culture studies is doing okay. They're making some money, and they're keeping on the water, keep the boat in the water. But yeah. But archaeology is apparently using way too much money, mm-hmm. and then VCS have to cut away positions, because that's the only place where they have part-time positions for people.
I see. So
like external people coming in, and in the end, like for Tromsø University and for the studies. Especially, like I don't know so much about social anthropology, the studies done there, but I know the quality of visual culture studies. In the end, they're gonna lose students. on this behalf, like.
Well, they already have. If I recall correctly, how many people have enrolled this year for visual culture studies?
Well, this is not like it is a studies where 10 students should come every year. So it's like a master program with 2 years. So this would be like 20 students filled up, and it's made for that.
I see.
Like technical wise, camera wise, computer editing wise.
That's the sweet number is 10.
Yeah,
I see.
And apparently this year 3 people started.
Okay.
Met up the first day and started. Like,
a lot less than 10.
A lot less than 10. And nobody knows why, apparently. Nobody got a clue why it happened. And that's really strange because somebody should have a clue. And I heard, like, before summer, I heard that they were really positive because a lot of people applied for the studies.
Mm-hmm.
They were choosing out who to bring in and stuff like that. And now they're saying, well, okay, 3 people came, and maybe if we're lucky, we'll get 6 people this year. We feel lucky if we can like pull all the strings and get all the people here, and like then all the students that we can maximum get into the studies now. It's 6 people, and I'm just wondering that's what happened there. Like that's really, really unprofessional. Yes, that if they had like more students that they needed before summer. Mm-hmm. And then after summer, they only got 3 students starting. What happened there?
What would you say to students who were like to study here then?
Well, at visual culture studies, I would probably tell them that they should really think about it. Like if they want to spend that 2 years at a master program in this environment right now, like with these things going on. So I would probably say like you should be ready to fight a bit for the quality of the studies, and tell them hopefully it's going to continue afterwards, that they're not going to be the last students, because there's a potential of that apparently. Yeah, there's a major problem here, and I would not 100% say to somebody that they should definitely come to the studies.
No, of course not. No, there is very much a problem here, and we actually turn to you, fellow students here at the university. We hope that, that you've taken light of what Esben has said. I certainly have, and we are hoping that maybe together we can get the faculties to change their mind. Personally, I'm very happy that Esben has actually approached me with this. Thank you very much, Esben. I know this took a fair amount of courage to come not only to the public eye, but alone in this matter. But of course, you've come well prepared. You've come with physical proof, both in documents from the university itself, as well as the emails which we'll be providing copies for online. Which highlights the unprofessionalism and management problems that are occurring at visual culture studies. But we're hoping that now that we've made this truly public, that some change can occur, so that future groups of students who want to come here to study VCS will be able to do so, knowing that they're getting quality education. So again, thank you very much, Esben.
Thank you.
Thank you.